Hollie Cooper here at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival with Martin Mor and Bronston Jones. How are you both?
Very well, thank you.
Doing well. It's fun. I love the Fringe.
It's awesome, and we've just come out of your Lolympics show. Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, well, we do it every day. This is the third Fringe that we've been doing it, and it's basically an international comedy showcase.
Yeah, we started during the Olympics when 2012 was going on, and we figured if they're going to put this much advertising into it, why shouldn't we just poach their wealth? There it is, the Olympics.
And it's a bit of a kind of a battle between the pair of you as well, which seems a bit one-sided.
Yeah, it is only a battle if the opponents were equal.
Yeah.
Because we've done 17 shows in Bronston. How many of you won of 17? How many shows?
2. I won 2, guys. I'm very proud of myself.
So 15-2 doesn't seem like a very even battle.
But I'm on the board.
Yeah, on the board.
And as an American, I still get a trophy.
Yep.
Everybody gets a trophy.
And Bronston, as an American, keeps giving himself medals.
We're going to talk about your individual shows a bit later on, but we're now going to move to the Trivial Pursuit Yourself part of the interview.
Great.
So you've got the dice, give it a little roll and we'll see what it comes out as. Okay, science and nature.
Beautiful.
Okay, tickets to space are now available. Where would you go first?
I wouldn't go. I would buy the ticket to space and I would send Bono and Bob Geldof. They both want to go and we would do a lot better without those two.
He's got it. How many tickets can we afford? There's a lot of people who go up there. The Cheneys of the world. Yeah. I keep it out of the musicians. There's some real people who deserve to be up there.
Okay.
French guy.
Oh,
Red.
brown.
Brown. Oh.
That might mean I'm colourblind.
A lot of people think that's red. I think it's just
red?
that's pink.
Is that red?
That's orange. There is no red on Trivial Pursuit.
Oh, well,
you should know this. We're going to talk about this a bit later. So, what would be the title of your autobiography?
The title of my autobiography? You're bored reading it. You should have lived it. Was that bad?
What was it?
You're bored reading it. You should have lived it. All right,
Yeah.
so I'm trying to be self-deprecating. It'd probably, literally, it would be life short. I'm not, which is a statement I came up with a long time ago, and I say it all the time.
Okay.
So life short. I'm not.
That's like your tagline.
Yeah.
Because the listeners won't know this, is that the Bronston's, one of your shows, wasn't it? It was called Life's Short, I'm Not. Because Bronston is actually 2 centimetres too tall to be a dwarf. And he tried to qualify as a dwarf and didn't qualify, and that show was all about that, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's just like, it's about my pains and struggles, trying to get things off the top shelf, and just. But the view is good. I see a lot of fannies.
I would call my autobiography, I would call it More, How Do You Like It?
I like that. That's good. I would read it.
Like to give.
I would actually read your autobiography. Your autobiography would be fascinating.
Yeah, it'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It's about the time in jail, about jail time.
Yeah. Did you ever get shot out of a cannon? You did you?
Did get shot out of a cannon, yeah.
You can't name something this guy hasn't done.
Have I got it in my head that you've toured with Tina Turner as well?
No, not toured. I was Tina Turner's support act, but only on one occasion at Alton Towers. Yeah. I didn't see her. It's funny one because all her bit was completely sectioned off from everybody else. So I came in and I was in a double act and we did our show and we were nowhere near the bit where the Tina Turner people were. And then as it was, we had free tickets and there's 10,000 people there. Everyone's really excited. It's in the 80s. Everyone's really excited. And we just went, should we beat the rush and leave now? So we just left before all the traffic.
Right.
Then the month after, we did M People. Do you remember that band?
Yeah,
M People. Yeah, we did them. Did support for them.
So wait, what did you do to open up for Tina Turner?
We did, Comedy Circus Act.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, there used to be a thing of that all the time. There used to be a really big thing of visual comedy acts opening for big acts. So a comedian friend of mine who's called Jeff Stevenson, he just recently he did support for Johnny Mathis at the O2 Arena.
Really?
Yeah. So it's really common. Do you remember a band Mott the Hoople?
Yeah.
Mott the Hoople. Well, they had what was he called now? Max Wall. used to be their support act. You know, he's an old-time physical clown, English clown guy.
Right.
He used to be their support act in the 1970s.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot who... Bernard Manning did support for Frank Sinatra, I think. Oh, no, I've got that wrong. Not Bernard Manning. I remember this now. There's another comedian whose name I forget who actually challenged Bernard Manning about it. Oh, I can't remember this whole story. Arnold Brown, this is it. Arnold Brown, who's an old-time Scottish comedian, one of the early comedians, on a documentary, there was him and Bernard Manning. They were talking to each other, and Bernard Manning said to him, "Well, what have you ever done that's noticeable?" And he said, "Well, I opened on tour for Frank Sinatra," which Bernard was kind of a bit stung by. Yeah, that's the story.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Blue eyes.
So would you like to roll again?
Rolling
Yeah.
again, rolling.
See if you can tell what color it is.
That's orange.
So this is sports and leisure. Okay. Oh, actually, I'm glad this one has landed on you. What would your entrance music be for your wrestling alter ego?
Oh, it would be the Lord of the Dance, and I would come on dressed like Michael Flatley and dance on, and my killer move would be like I'd drop somebody, I'd knock them out, and then I'd get onto the top turnbuckle and I'd do like an Irish jig, and then I'd jump off because my hands would be by my side, and I'd jump off, and it'd be called the Celtic Torpedo would be my killer move, and I'd be up there like that, and the music would be diddly-eye, and the commentator would go, "Oh no, I think he's going to do the Celtic Torpedo," and then I'd hit the guy and he'd be knocked out, and the commentator would go, "You've been paddied."
You've put some serious thought into that.
Yeah, just now, but yeah.
No, but it all works.
Yeah. You got the same.
Same color. Sports and leisure.
Okay, what's your commentary of the Edinburgh Fringe so far?
My commentary, you know what, I'm going to actually say this, is it's not as much chaos as before. Last few times I've been here, I feel like at night, I feel like there's just stuff that's going on that's happening underground. And I feel like either I'm not a part of that or I haven't found it yet, but I feel like it's very calm this year. And it's a little shocking. I mean, I love it. The acts are great, everything's great. It's just that weird sense of I'm in this other world isn't happening.
Yeah, there's not craziness. There's no craziness vibe this year, is there? We're not hearing of anybody. Nobody's been outrageous. Yeah. Nobody really. People are getting the cold and being a bit ill, but nobody. You know, I'm not seeing people suffering from hangovers and trying to do their shows. It's quite mellow this year, I think.
Yeah. Hate to be negative on that one, but because the last couple of years have been insanity, which is why I'm back. I like the insanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I like the insanity.
Need to shake it up a bit in the last week.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because I've already gone through my illness, and now it's like, all right, next week I'll just go crazy.
Do it.
Yeah.
Now, that ties us quite nicely. Oh, you want to do one more?
Yeah,
Okay.
one more. Yellow.
Okay, this is the year randomizer, and this can be like any point in history. So your year's landed on 1920. What were you doing in 1920?
In 1920,
in a past life, maybe.
No, I was alive in 1920. In 1920, I was doing gigs for jonglers, and it was really difficult because in those days it was just lit by gaslight, and the tweed suits were really sweaty. So we used to get this thing that they called comedian's armpit. You won't remember it because you're too young. Comedian's armpit was when you were so sweaty on stage that you inadvertently would scratch, and people used to get rashes, underarm rashes. Yeah, it was horrible.
Right,
and we found as a solution for it, you could put opium on, and opium would dusted opium
On your armpit.
on your armpit. Yeah, and that's the thing. People thought it's when people thought it was a fetish that people had because groupies would sniff your armpits, and it was just because it was the excess opium.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah, comedian's armpit. Don't get it anymore. It's been eradicated by Caniston cream because it was fungal.
And also like cotton underpants, right?
Yeah. Well, we didn't wear underpants in those days.
Yeah.
But it was terrible because tweed, it's not quite itchy, but it's enough that you can feel it. Do you know what I mean? So it's not a scratchy itch, it's just a little itch.
Like when you were with a woman, you would blame the rashes on tweed?
Tweed, that was exactly it.
You're like, oh, that's just a tweed rash, don't worry about it.
Yeah, when they would go, oh, you look like you've got a rash that's going to cost you £20 extra, you could go, no, it's not, it's just tweed.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, that kind of neatly leads us on to you guys talking about your shows. So tell us a bit about your shows.
My show this year is called Comedian, and it's hopefully an hour of chaos. And it's basically, I'm trying to do a different show every night, so I'm trying to do a different hour every night, and I've got some little strategies not dissimilar to some of your strategies, where ask questions, get people to ask me questions, and go off on that material, muck around as much as possible. And sometimes it's been going great, sometimes it's been going not great.
Yeah. It's actually funny because I have a similar thing that my show is called What Comes Out, and it's short for Let's See What Comes Out of My Mouth. And the first 10 minutes or so are usually the same, and then I start talking to the audience to find out who's from where and what they're into and what, like here, I'm not really having to ask me questions, but somebody will say like they're studying something in uni, and that'll lead me into some old story from my past. So every night is a different structure. I definitely have a safety net because sometimes you get with a crowd that they're just not into it. You know, they're like, no, just you do your thing. At which point, you know, I pull the safety parachute, go into an act. But
you're lucky, but because you've got your, you know, people love seeing a dwarf dance.
Yeah.
So you could do your dance. Don't you?
Tell them about my closer. Why would you ruin that?
Yeah. Tap dancing dwarf.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I had the most beautiful thing that ever happened, and I think it's because the show is freeform. And like a lot of people keep saying, oh, I felt like I was in your living room. Like I actually leave all the house lights up so I can see everybody. And we had this one night where this guy, he was kind of drunk, and we determined that earlier, and he started laughing while I was in the setup with some other joke. Like I was in the setup, and he started laughing, and I'm like, what's the matter? Did you wake up from a dream? And he kept laughing and laughing. He told me that he just finally got this joke from a minute ago. And as he kept laughing, his friends were annoyed with him at first, and then I was laughing, he was laughing, the whole room exploded into that infectious, contagious thing. And I've never ever been in, like, even just sitting around with my friends, like at home, I've never had it go as long as this did with these strangers, and I felt like we were family by the end. It was incredible. Yeah.
And what survival tips? This is the third year doing the Olympics, but between you, you've had a few years with the Fringe. What are your survival tips for kind of getting through it?
Make sure you have a poo before you leave the house. That's not even a joke. Make sure you have a poo before you leave the house, because there's so many people here, the public toilets can be monstrous. So poo in comfort, set yourself up for the day.
Or you should scout where good places to poo are.
Yes.
I have several around the Fringe where I'm like, I won't even explore this place, but I know that the next building over has a nice one.
This is the thing, most people that in their normal life, they know where there's a free Wi-Fi spot. Well, comedians at Edinburgh know where there's a good poo spot. And we tell each other. In fact, there's a little hand-drawn, it's been photocopied, there's a hand-drawn map from about 5 years ago that gets passed around.
It's very exclusive though, not everybody gets that map.
Yeah, the open spots don't get it. You have to be a closing act. The open spots never see it. To them, the open spots have heard of it, and those poo spots, they're like the island in that movie, The Island. They know there's a map for this special island, but nobody will give it to them. And on occasion, I'll admit that I've shown an open spot the map, but just far enough in a dingy bar that they can see it exists, but not that they could read where the poo spots are.
I feel like we're breaking into comedy secrets here.
Comedy secrets.
It's a rite of passage. You don't like it's sort of like it's a badge of honor that you now have the map. I mean, it's broken down by floors. It's incredible. And or if there's several in one unit, it's like which exact cooler it is.
Down to the last cubicle.
The lucky cubicle. It's always this. So typically, somebody has a poo. Then they go and storm a gig and get an encore. That becomes the lucky cubicle until somebody who uses it then dies and does badly, and that breaks the luck. And there's one cubicle that for the last 9 years has remained the lucky cubicle, and it puts pressure on you, because if you poo there, you don't want to be the one that breaks the lucky cubicle.
Yeah. Well, there's also unlucky cubicles where if you go in there, you're guaranteed a bump.
Yeah.
And they're like marked in a cross or with a skull, or
yeah, it's just sort of a red just blotch. It's sad. It's weird. It's almost like you took a bingo stamp.
It is a bingo stamp.
Oh, no.
It is a bingo stamp. The stamp of tears. It's called. They stamp the stamp of tears.
Tears or tears?
Tears, like crying.
But tears is spelled the same way.
Yeah, that in a public toilet, that's a different unlucky experience.
Yeah, well, maybe that's what caused it.
Maybe.
Okay, Martin, before we finish, you actually, quite funnily enough, have your own connections with Trivial Pursuit.
Yes, genuinely, I actually did a show about this a few years ago, about 7 years ago, called The Trivial Pursuits of Martin Moore. I used to be a circus act. When I was a circus act, an agent set up a thing where they were producing a big calendar, and the deal was they had a top photographer, they paid for everything. And from the shoot, I got 3 photographs for my own use, the agent got 3 photographs, and the photographer got 3 photographs. And years later, I'd used mine as promotional stuff. Years later, somebody said to me, "Oh, your photo's on the Trivial Pursuits board," and I thought it was a joke, you know, because I've got a beard and there's probably some beardy guy. And then I saw it, and it genuinely was me. It's me on there. I'm riding on a unicycle. It's on one of the pink arts and entertainment squares. And I've always said to my friends, if we're playing Trivial Pursuit, if I land on my own square, I should automatically win. I should automatically win. And the other thing from it was, and this only came to light about 2 years ago, was somebody else said to me, "Oh, you've got to Google this thing," and they said they'd seen it in Berlin, and they'd got the website, and basically it's one of the other. So there's 3 photographs that the guy got. He sold one to Trivial Pursuits. That one of the other one is now cropped up, and it's a picture of me fire juggling, and it's as big as a building. It's honestly as big as a house, and it's on a banner outside an S&M gay club in Berlin. I'm topless, juggling fire.
Have you gone there?
I've not. I should go, see if they give me free entry.
Yeah.
It's completely true. It's on the way. I looked it up on Google Images.
You should, like, if you go there, you shouldn't say it. You should actually just go juggling fire as yourself, and they'll be like, they'll be shocked. They wouldn't know. Yeah.
Amazing. So you wanted me to ask you a question?
Yeah, ask us a real question.
So
well, we're gonna roll.
Oh, you're gonna roll for it? Okay. Orange. Okay, what star? This is easy. What star declared I was born for soccer just as Beethoven was born for music?
I don't think it is easy. Is it Maradona?
Actually, that was something that he might say, but no. It's Pele.
Oh, Pele. Oh, so you roll.
Okay.
Triangle. The pink triangle.
The pink triangle. Excellent.
Okay, I don't know this one. So, who introduced the TV series The Magic of Dance?
The Magic of Dance. Who introduced the TV series? Is this the UK division or
no? I've never heard of it.
The Magic of Dance. It would be. It wasn't Danny Terrio because that was Disco Fever. The guy who just passed. I don't know.
Dame Margot
Fontaine. Dame Margot Fontaine, of course. These
are like UK questions.
Yeah, of course they will be.
Well, one of them I did find, and I thought it was quite funny. What time of day? Oh, here it is. What is the best time of day to buy a pair of shoes?
It's in the evening, because your feet have got bigger because you've been walking on them.
I think it's in the morning after your first poo.
When is it?
It's late afternoon, so I think you've got the gold star on this one.
Okay, great, easy.
But I think that's more of a
Let's ask you one.
She has like 6 cards. She knows it all.
Who provided lead vocals for the band The Who?
Oh, I should know that.
Who?
Not Roger Daltrey, is it?
It's Roger Daltrey.
Yeah, there we go.
What novel? I got this dance show.
Here's one for you, Bronston. Then, what novel was based on Alexander Selkirk's lonely experience?
Count of Monte Cristo.
No. Robinson Crusoe. How many times must a boxer win a Lonsdale belt before he can keep it?
Oh, for me,
Hollie,
this one. 3.
3, it is 3.
I would say 3 too.
Yeah.
Seems like a logical number. You win some, a couple times, you get to keep it and make a new one.
What is a resident of Moscow called?
Muscovite.
Muscovite.
Very good. We're going to leave it there. Thank you very much, Martin Moore.
You put muscovites on your bagels, don't you?
No.
It's peanut butter, and muscovites?
Marmite. He didn't know what Marmite was.
I've never had Marmite.
Then he tasted that and he was going, "Why are you eating that?"
I'm partial to Vegemite myself.
Yeah, no, I'm just used to Marmite. Vegemite's a little bit sweeter, isn't it?
Yeah. All right. Martin Moore.
Thank you.
Bronston Jones. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.